Hello, everybody. It's Nicole. I was trying to do this on my Instagram as well. I guess I'm not that fancy, but welcome. And I posted something on my group the other day talking about, what are those things that you want to see? And sleep meditation was one of them. And as I was thinking about it, I've just been thinking a lot about how we all have these expectations for 2020, right? That we're obviously very outside of what happened in reality. And then on top of it, we have major expectations for 2021. And I don't know about you guys, but right now I'm already feeling pretty burnt out from 2021. And I think part of it is that we're carrying a lot of trauma, a lot of distress, a lot of heaviness from last year into this one. Hey, Scott. First of all, I have on here, you guys, please share this. Please comment on this. Share it with your friends. I put my spiritual tip jar on there. So if you find value in this, you can just drop a little something in there on Venmo. But I know that this is a valuable thing for a lot of you, and I wanted to put a new one up because the one I have up there is from June or something. But anyway, so we're going back to this idea of the burnout. So burnout is something that causes us to feel anxiety, stress. One thing that as I was thinking about it, it kind of makes me feel guilty, right? That or have these expectations, and then I feel guilty that I don't reach them. So I was thinking today that we need to remember to forgive ourselves. And that's where this meditation is going to come in. We're going to take a few moments at the beginning to allow ourselves to forgive whatever it is that we've got going on, to forgive ourselves for not living up to whatever those expectations were, and to remind ourselves that we are worthy of finding rest. And we are worthy of finding rest. And, one of those things that happens along the way is that we have all these other things to do, and things like taking a nap or slowing down or maybe going to bed early become not so much of a priority. In fact, they become something that we think of as lofty. But really, when we're taking that time to slow down and take care of ourselves, we're making our whole body feel better. As I was doing just writing things down for this, I was thinking about the physiological effects of guilt and stress on our bodies. What happens with that is that we start to release these chemicals, these hormones that go directly to our essential organs. And when that happens, we start to get really worn out. And that's really where that burnout comes in, right? So if we're getting things, we're constantly feeling this in our bodies where we're getting attacked and we're throwing things at our organs, we're going to do things like increase our heart rate. We're going to start to feel more stressed in our body. We're going to maybe raise blood pressure, mess up our digestion. So feeling that maybe you're feeling off in your digestive system. And then even things like your cholesterol long-term, all these things, as we check them with our blood, we can see that as well. So when we are letting ourselves forgive and we're not holding on to those guilty feelings, especially when it comes to ourselves, we find that deeper sense of rest. So let's just start here by allowing ourselves to remember that it's okay to feel a little burnt out, but we're going to do something that helps us. So I posted something today, just a little bit earlier today, about burnout, and it said, signs of burnout: little to no interest in things, insomnia, emotionally overwhelmed, amplified anxiety, exhaustion. That's a good one, right? And easily triggered by things. So if you're feeling any of those things, maybe one, maybe all, maybe a few, know that it's, partially because you're not getting that rest. You're not getting that reset. So let's start here by just sitting or laying down. In fact, you probably want to lay down for this one because this is going to be more of a sleep meditation. And allow yourself to come in and just start to breathe here. As you set yourself up, make sure that you can rest carefully. Yeah, I like that, Scott. Don't put pressure on yourself. Yeah, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, right? Even when it comes to resting. I know, for me, sometimes I'm like, okay, I have this much time, I need to rest, right? So I feel this pressure, and then eventually I end up not even getting any rest at all, right? So take a moment here to recognize that right now, right here, there's nowhere else you need to be. You don't have to do this right now. You can save it for later. It'll be something that you can watch later. But whenever you're ready, then remind yourself that right now there's nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to be doing. Remind yourself gently, I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of rest. And just allow yourself here to soften and breathe. Feel your breath filling you up as you inhale. And then let yourself empty out as you exhale. Allowing your shoulders to soften away from your ears. Feeling your body starting to sink down into the earth, into whatever's underneath you. Reminding yourself that there's nothing else you need to be doing, that this is something to support you, to show yourself love. We're going to go through a couple of things that we can think about in our lives and how we approach ourselves in a way of forgiveness. So here, as we start, just laying down, feeling your body get heavy, noticing that flow of your inhale and exhale. You may even want to put one hand on your heart just to remind yourself of these things. Forgiving yourself, you can say, I forgive myself for not honoring my body. I forgive myself for not making space to rest. I forgive myself for failing to be perfect. I forgive myself for hurting myself intentionally or even unintentionally. Hi, Ro. I forgive myself for the negative words and the negative thoughts. I forgive myself for shame, for fear. I forgive myself for the unrealistic expectations. And you can think of maybe one or two other ones. Reminding yourself that this is time that you've set aside so that you can find rest. And with your hand on your heart, as you lie back, just begin to reconnect with your breath now, noticing that flow of your inhale and your exhale. Feeling your body getting heavier. As you check in, beginning to allow your eyes to soften. Allow your jaw to release. Feel the back of your head releasing down to the earth. The shoulders softening back. Begin to feel the back of your chest expanding into the earth as you inhale. And then softening as you exhale. And allow your hips to release. Your waistline to soften. Start to feel your arms getting heavier from your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrist, all the way down to the tips of the fingers. And then start to feel your hips getting heavier, the legs getting heavier, from your thighs to your knees, to your shins, your ankles, all the way down to the tips of the toes. Coming back again to the flow of your breath, the slow inhale and the slow exhale. Just allowing yourself to start to slow down. Reminding yourself that this is time you set aside, and forgiving yourself when you find yourself wandering, even if you just notice a sound or a sensation, but gently coming back, allowing yourself to just start to relax a little more. I'm going to bring you through a body scan now. And as I bring up the different parts of your body, you can just bring your awareness there and allow your body to soften. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So if you fall asleep or if you drift off, you can always come back to the sound of my voice or the sensation of your breath. But know that you'll still get the benefit of this even if you just let yourself rest. So let's come back and just notice the breath here. Inhaling slowly and exhaling slowly. Reminding yourself that you are worthy of rest. Feeling yourself filling up with inhales, emptying out with exhales. Giving yourself the space to soften, and then giving yourself the space to just be. As you notice the flow of your breath, begin to feel yourself softening down into the earth a little bit more, and noticing how the earth rises up to support you and to hold you. We'll start by bringing our awareness to the top of the head. And we'll start to go across the body. So we'll start by moving towards the right temple and the left temple. Right eyebrow and left eyebrow. Right ear, left ear. Right cheek, left cheek. Right nostril, left nostril. Right corner of the mouth, left corner of the mouth. Right side of jaw, left side of jaw. Right side of neck, left side of neck. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Right upper arm, left upper arm. Right elbow, left elbow. Right forearm, left forearm. Right wrist, left wrist. Right pinky, left pinky. Right ring finger, left ring finger. Right middle finger, left middle finger. Right index, left index. Right thumb, left thumb. Right upper corner of the chest, left upper corner of the chest. Right armpit, left armpit. Right side of ribs, left side of ribs. Right side body, left side body. Right hip, left hip. Right thigh, left thigh. Right knee, left knee. Right calf, left calf. Right ankle, left ankle. Right outer blade of the foot, left outer blade of the foot. Right inner arch, left inner arch. Right toes, left toes. Bringing the awareness along the bottom of your feet, moving up now from the back to the front, bringing the awareness to the heels and the top of the feet, from your calves to your shins, back of knees to front of knees, back of thighs to top of thighs, your seat, your tailbone, the back of your hips, and the front of your hips, back of the ribs, front of the ribs, back of the chest, front of the chest, back of the arms, front of the arms, back of the elbows, inner elbows, top of the forearms, inner forearms, outer wrist, inner wrist, bottom of the palm, top of the hand, back of the neck, front of the neck, back of the head, front of the head, all the way back to the top of the head. Coming back to your breath, just noticing your inhale and your exhale. Noticing your body heavy and still. Reminding yourself, I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of rest. I am worthy of rest. Coming back again to your breath, noticing that flow of your inhale and your exhale. Starting to feel your body sinking down and releasing. And then beginning to allow yourself to feel a connection with your own heaviness here. As you feel your body sinking down, begin to feel yourself letting go. Allow your breath to fill you up. Allow the exhale to soften you down. And then for a moment, I want you to think about the sensation of becoming light. Starting to feel your head becoming light, your arms becoming light, your legs, your torso. Feeling your body filling up with lightness with every breath. Imagining that lightness starting to lift you off the earth, slowly floating up and up. Every round of breath making you lighter and lighter. Feeling that sense of lightness, of weightlessness. Feeling that sense of being held and supported without effort, without need. And then begin to allow yourself to feel heaviness start to come back in. Feeling your arms and your legs becoming heavier. Your head releasing down. Your torso sinking back. As you feel yourself getting heavy, begin to feel your bones sinking back. Feeling your head releasing, letting go of each of the muscles at the back of the neck, the back of the skull. Letting go of tension in the head and in the face. Begin to feel the back of your neck releasing, softening the neck, softening the throat. Begin to release the tops of the shoulders, feeling them sinking down, feeling them releasing, getting heavier, releasing down more. Feeling the back of your ribs as they soften, as they release. Noticing the arms as they get heavier and heavier all the way down to the hands. Releasing the muscles of your belly, the back of the waist, feeling the hips sinking down, the seat releasing, and even feeling that sense of heaviness moving through the legs, as if your thigh bones could sink back even more, settling back, reminding your nervous system that it can soften, that it can let go. Begin to release the legs all the way down to the heels, feeling that sense of heaviness, and allowing yourself to trust that all the work that you've done is enough to support you. It's enough to hold you. Giving yourself permission to find that deeper sense of rest. Noticing your breath here, begin to notice the sensation of your breath as it first meets your nose. And then begin to follow that breath as it moves in through your nose, towards the back of your throat, all the way down into your lungs. And then following that breath as it moves back out from your lungs to your throat, to the nostrils, to outside your body. Slowly following that breath as you inhale and exhale, filling up and emptying out. Every round of breath, an opportunity to soften, an opportunity to rest. And as you allow your body to stay heavy here, you can begin to follow your breath, following the inhale and following the exhale, maybe even counting the breath. 1 for the inhale, 2 for the exhale, going all the way up to 10. And as you reach 10, you can start again. Just giving yourself the space to start to slow down, the space to allow yourself to reboot. Noticing how it feels in your body as you let yourself soften, forgiving yourself for not honoring your body, forgiving yourself for not making space for the rest, forgiving yourself for not being perfect, forgiving yourself for any ways that you may have hurt yourself, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Forgiving yourself for the negative thoughts, the negative self-talk. Forgiving yourself for any shame you're feeling, any fear you're feeling that's residual from 2020 and these first few weeks of 2021. And lastly, forgive yourself for those unrealistic expectations. Just continuing to breathe, continuing to soften. And if you're still awake right now and you want to just go back to sleep, or you're about ready to fall asleep, just hit the off button. But if you're just coming in and you just wanted a little bit of rest, you can start to come back to your breath and to your awareness. Starting to notice what it feels like in the room that you're in, what it feels like in your body. Giving yourself a few more minutes here to just be in that heaviness, in that stillness, connecting with your breath, connecting with the present moment. Beginning to bring a little movement to your fingers, into your toes. As you deepen your breath, maybe even stretch your arms up and overhead. Just take a full body stretch as you turn your head side to side. And then come all the way back, bringing your hands down, hugging your knees in. If you're on your back, you can roll over to your side, very slowly pressing yourself on up. And then bringing your hands in front of your heart in prayer position. We honor this practice. We honor rest in our lives. And as we close, we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is something that you need in your life, I suggest joining me on Monday evenings. I have a class on Mondays at 7 p.m. that is called Restore. We do a lot of laying down. There are mostly poses that are supported by blankets and cushions It's a really all levels class, so if you're interested in that, you can check it out at my site, NicoleTraumYoga.com. If you like this and you found value in this, you can drop something in my spiritual tip jar. I put the Venmo code up there. And feel free to share this with your friends. If you watched it, do the hashtag replay so I know when you're watching it. It's just always nice to see that. But you can just hit the share button and share it with your friends. It's just a really nice thing to share. I know a lot of us are experiencing that burnout. And it can manifest in lots of different ways. So hopefully you are going to get some really good rest tonight if you aren't already. And I will see you all soon. Namaste. I'm going to say that this worked because I have a little person sleeping and snoring behind me. So good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.